Hello and welcome to the Full FX Unfiltered. My name is Colin Lambert. I'm publisher of the Full FX, and this edition is in association with oneZero. And I'm delighted to be joined by 12 friends: Stephen Totten, who is head of institutional products at oneZero, and Adam Collins, who is head of institutional sales at oneZero. Lovely to see you, chaps. Hope all is well. We're here today to talk about the swap curve manager. So, Steve, it's a relatively new product.
Yep.
Why did oneZero launch it?
So, I mean, I think historically, a lot of the products that the swap traders use in these banks were built effectively for an era when swaps were still very largely voice traded. Relatively recently, we've seen from the past few BIS surveys that these have got more and more electronic. The volumes that we're doing there have increased a lot. And the tools that these traders were using have become a bit outdated and not really relevant to the EFX world. So, we see an opportunity. Certainly from my experience, I've seen a lot of the problems that the swap traders have dealing with, I would say, voice style quoting, but going out into an e-market where you've got lots of different tiering, lots of different client segments, and you want to price clients in a more bespoke way. So we built this tool to really help address this market and have a fully integrated solution between the e-platform that the traders can use to have very precise, defined pricing going out, to really optimize their risk management.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm guessing, Adam, that there's the clues in the name a little bit. But I mean, as a trader, what does the swap curve manager do for me?
Yeah, so the swap curve manager was built primarily to give traders and maybe even in some cases salespeople control back over their swaps. A lot of banks were either priced out of the market in terms of buying a very expensive swap solution, which was very expensive, or the other end of the spectrum is that they were managing everything from a spreadsheet. Yeah. So in kind of fast-moving markets where potentially there's a lot of volatility, things are choppy, there could be price anomalies, the traders were very detached from that actual process, and by the time they had a chance to react to the markets moving, the event's already happened. So the idea behind the swap curve manager is just giving full control back to the trader, but really on the fly. So the trader can change, any point in the curve on the fly. They can turn pricing on or off. We have very sophisticated tools that allows the trader to, see using AI where their clients are being mispriced. And they can also turn any point off on the curve on the fly, and it just really gives them full control back. What the product is fully integrated into our existing suite of institutional trading products. Okay. It can also exist in isolation and standalone, so you can actually.
Okay, so it can be both.
Absolutely, okay. It can be integrated into a bank's direct API, so we can connect into a bank's API and their pricing engine. But it also exists, as I say, within our ecosystem as a standalone product, and a trader can just use it to manage their swaps on the fly and really control that curve.
You mentioned there, I mean, obviously, standalone or it can be fully integrated, but I mean, so in terms of and also other products that have been out there that a lot of traders have been using, how does it differ in terms of, maybe maybe we can go a little bit deeper into that flexibility that you were talking about?
Yeah, so we can allow our clients to take whatever data source they want to use, first of all. So we're very flexible around that. We're agnostic to the data source. We do have a partnership with New Change FX, which is a fairly, a regulated benchmark that a lot of clients are now using. As an example, you could pull in New Change FX's rate, use that as the benchmark, and then when there are anomalies to that benchmark, and there's maybe things are being mispriced, or you think there's limited liquidity at a certain point in the curve, you can see the curve yourself in a visualization in our GUI, and then you can actually see where on the curve you turned it off. The other really powerful thing about it is actually flexibility around your end clients. So if you have different buckets of clients, different tierings of clients that you price differently, you can actually control the pricing to bespoke sets or subsets of clients, which really says if you have a bucket of clients where they're typically very difficult to manage flow, maybe a little bit sharper, then you can actually turn off pricing just to those sharper clients, retain pricing on fully to others. You can turn it off depending on the tenor, you can turn it off on or off depending on the size, and then you can either send things to DI or you can actually just not price that point on the curve at all. And the visualizations within our GUI enables you to see where on the curve you've actually turned off, so it appears red just for clarity, so it shows you where you're off.
Yeah, I mean, because I guess, Steve, that ability to tweak pricing, I guess the first thing I would say is, the big thing here is you're going to price different clients according to credit. that's available to them?
Yeah, credit, or even like sort of sharpness and so on.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Different currency pairs, right? Different time of day, right? Depending on liquidity. So there's a lot of flexibility as to how you want to do that. I think as well, obviously, as we've seen sort of in the recent volatile conditions, things can move very quickly. And in the e-market, you obviously want to keep your pricing going to as many clients as possible at all points in time. People have got used to this Amazon style, always on, right?
Yep.
Sort of trading ability. So, the very sophisticated set of tools that allow you to scale up and down both your pricing and your liquidity sort of very dynamically. So that as things kick off, if there's some announcement on Truth Social or whatever, or Bitcoin melts down, right? You can sort of very quickly.
Are available.
Exactly, right. You can scale down, right, all your pricing, right. Wait till the market calms down, and you can reprice things, and then you can sort of scale back up very gradually.
And that can be done effectively, as close to real time as you can, as long as it takes me to click.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing like sort of payments type flow earlier. I mean, that you obviously want to protect that, right, and make sure you're constantly giving sort of pricing right out to that segment of your market. You can do that, right, and leave all that on fully, whilst potentially some of the more sharper reactive flow, you can dial that down quite dynamically.
Yeah, and you can actually, just to maybe reiterate, you can tweak your pricing at any point of the curve. Because obviously, I guess the standout for me would be the whole basis risk around quarter and year ends.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And obviously having that sort of accurate data source coming in is super important. As Adam said, we're sort of very agnostic, right? We've got a fully open, transparent set of APIs and can get data in from anywhere. But we have a great partnership with New Change FX. I think Paul and Mark there have done a great job of pricing a very accurate, real-time, low latency curve that incorporates all those kinks of the turns, central bank dates, etc. And so we can ingest all of that along with any external source, and bring it together and make sure you can get that sort of very accurate pricing, and you can tweak that and even run skews in as well. So of course, as a swap trader, you want to be running sort of a natural bias, probably right for your bank's position, so you can skew your curve as well.
Because I was going to mention axes. Axes are probably even more important to your clients now than they were 3-4 years ago when everyone was at zero interest rates.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And you've seen with sort of banks have a natural balance sheet, right? Certain currency pairs where they're sort of naturally long or short. And obviously the client base as well can be quite one-sided. So you may want to reflect those axes into your curve. And our tool allows you full control to do that. And again, fully automated, fully API driven. So you can do that either manually or you can incorporate external signals to drive that as well.
Adam mentioned visualization. Can you give me an insight into what sort of visualization? Because I hear visualization and my first thought always goes to options traders, with their cones and other things that I don't understand, being a dumb spot trader. But can you give me an idea of sort of what sort of visualizations are available?
Data has been always hugely important to us at oneZero. We incorporate and ingest huge amounts of data every day, and have got lots of tools to traders, sales, etc., to really help them get the most out of that. Same in the swap trader tool. So both real time, we give you sort of a lot of analytics around your curve that you can see spreads and so on to spot anomalies and make sure that you are continuing to price as accurately as you can to your client segments. And of course, you can view that in a historical context as well. And in post-trade, you can also incorporate, that sort of great New Change data to do markouts, etc. as well. So you can look at the evolution of the curve over time and see if people really are picking you off and hurting you, and tweak those client segments. So it's all very integrated into our existing suite of analytics to really help banks optimize their P&L.
And the fact is, normally you're talking about larger size tickets, aren't you, when it comes to this sort of stuff? So actually having those analytics is quite important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess just to close out and to reinforce the dumb spot trader thing, I used to look at the forward desk a little bit askance, and what is it? What witchery is going on that desk? Is it actually something that I could pick up myself, from oneZero, go onto your site or whatever, and have a look at this?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, it is standalone. It's fully integrated into what we call our hub, which is our kind of institutional hub. That does obviously encompass, the full end-to-end capabilities, aggregation, price construction, distribution. But actually, Swap Curve Manager can actually, be on its own. We can show it on its own. We have a good team of people that can go out and show it to you. So anytime you want to see it, Colin, we can show you the product. And
well, I may well take you up on that, but make sure it's someone who's really patient when they're explaining it to me.
It won't be me then.
As always, thanks for your time today and great to see you, and good luck with the swap curve manager.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back again very soon.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.